Hey, welcome to No Culture for Old Men. Hey, it's good for us to be back. I'm hoping you're joining us again for a second or third or fourth or a fifth or sixth or seventh time. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Hey,
Can we
remember,
make
if you
it?
like the show, remember to like or follow on whatever your social media platforms are that you follow us on, whether it's Instagram or YouTube. What else we on?
That's it. Just Instagram and YouTube.
Okay, Instagram, YouTube. All right, follow us, like us on that. Hey, as usual, we're kicking it off. We got Tyrone, we got our man Ben. We're gonna start it off today. My boy Tyrone, he got Joe Budden. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, we could talk about that clown.
Yeah, let's talk about Joe Budden. Tell me what's going on with Joe Budden.
So obviously, he fired his friends and co-hosts on the latest podcast before he took it down, and had a 21-minute rant of how they are in breach of contract and just a bunch of emotional stuff.
Is emotional?
So yeah, he's whack. He's just so emotional for no reason.
Don't a lot of people listen to that.
I pay for Patreon things, right? Like there's a couple of things like Kev on Stage stuff and
what's Patreon?
Patreon is an app like YouTube.
Okay.
But it's all subscription. So if there's a comedian who makes funny videos or he has a stand-up that he only wants people to see or skits, then you pay $5-10 a month and you have access to these things before they come out, like on YouTube or somebody leaks them some other way or something like that.
Gotcha. So it's just content.
Yeah, it's just content. So I mean, and there's other stuff on there. There's all kinds of stuff on Patreon. But so there's a couple of comedians on there that I pay for. And when the Joe Budden went over there, I said, well, okay. And
you pay for that? You pay for Joe Budden?
Yeah, I gave him $5 or whatever it was for the thing.
What do you like? Cash app him or something?
No, well, yeah, kind of. I mean, you just pay for a subscription. You
pay for a subscription.
Joe Budden?
Yeah, I was. I drive a lot, so I watch these videos.
I get it.
Riding down the road. And then, so I didn't watch this last one because I knew it was going to be some bull. As soon as I saw him sitting there on the couch all by himself, looking sad and trying to pretend that he wasn't sad, I was like, "This is over. This is over." He wasn't making sense, and I'm like, I don't even want to hear what he's talking about. I didn't know it was going to be him yelling going into the firing thing. I saw that on.
So why did he fire these cats? What's the deal?
His version. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Well, his version is they wanted to see his accounting books.
His crew did, the people working with him.
Yeah, the two other hosts. Okay. Because they had complaints on pay.
Okay.
And his whole thing is, I own it. Mm-hmm. I don't have to show you anything. And they were like, well, technically you do, because we don't think we're getting paid properly. That's Joe Budden's story. The other two haven't spoken about it or said anything. But he was just hella emotional. Like I'm like, you acting like a little girl right now. like a straight girl.
Like he got his feelings hurt.
Yeah, like somebody stole his puppy or something.
Well, what do you think? Does he have a point? It's like, if it's his show, does he have to show his books? Now I can understand them thinking, "Oh, we're not getting paid the proper percentage on advertising or whatever." But
so you have to understand the arc of Joe Budden, this podcast recently. So it started out just him basically and Rory, and they were big on YouTube for so many years. They got this big deal on Spotify. Mm-hmm. They started making some money finally. And then they got off of Spotify. They went back to YouTube, added in the Patreon. They got the Cash App sponsorship. They were still making money, right?
Yeah.
And then Joe has sponsored other podcasts. There's 2 other podcasts based off of his show, right?
He has a network right now at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean 2 other shows. Okay. And plus his pull-up thing, that his interview conversations he does, right? So he's got a little situation going on over there. Mm-hmm. So I guess, but part of his arc is he's been railing for the better part of the last year about how creators don't get a chance to see the books. You know what I'm saying? They don't get to see what we're really making, the company. So how can we tell you, how can we get an equitable salary from you, or a stake in equity from you if you don't know how much we're really bringing in, right?
Yeah.
So for him, if that's true, for him to deny his friends a real look at the books, that's the height of hypocrisy, if that's really what's going on. So that sounds weird.
His whole thing was, if you need to audit me, then we're not friends. That I think his feelings was hurt.
Yeah, I get it.
Which is stupid. Dude, they just want to make sure they're getting paid correctly, because you're half retarded anyway. Like, that's stupid. Like, you that emotional because somebody wants to check to see if they got paid properly?
I mean, that's terrible if that's what it is.
I'll be honest. I never listened to the show. I don't even know who these people are, but people want to get paid for what they're contributing. So, I'm not mad at them for at least checking in on it and seeing, hey, should I be getting paid more if we're making X dollars in marketing and all that?
I knew he was crazy when he wanted to go to therapy with his friend. Like, basically, Rory was like, let's shoot the 5. I want to fight you. Let's shoot the 5. Let's shoot the fair one. And he was like, well, we can go to therapy. What?
Friends go to therapy.
When did friends go to therapy? For what?
Who goes to therapy?
I don't know.
Not friend therapy. I mean, therapy is a valuable thing. I get it, but not in that situation.
There's nothing wrong with having therapy with your friends for your relationships. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ben, if you ask me to go to therapy, I'm snuffing you.
Exactly. I mean, I understand, personal and mental health is big, and I get it. Like, I've been watching MSNBC all week, and they're talking about DBT for dummies, and I still don't get that. I mean, I think it must be important because a lot of people subscribe to it. But
what is that?
What does DBT even mean, dude?
I don't even know what it stands for.
I've
just been watching it, and it's like dealing with your emotional state and how you react when you're emotional or unemotional, taking emotions out of it. I think I'm butchering it, but it seemed pretty interesting. I mean, the book's out. I might go check it out. I'm just curious. A lot of stars subscribe to it.
It's only $15.
Yeah, it's a pretty reasonable book from what I've seen. So they've been talking about it. But okay, mental health check. So Joe got into his feelings, and now what is the podcast still on, or is it done with?
Well, he fired him, so I don't know if he's going to do it with other people.
Well, maybe he's going to hire some new cats. I mean, people want talent.
But the other 2 cats he had sucked. Like, so Rory and Maul would check him and be like, no, that's stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. These other 2 guys he hired, they're like, they just agree with everything he says.
Yeah,
so
of course. He got some yes men now, probably.
But they're his friends. So they already see the world the same way he does, probably.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do. People tend to follow Joe for the drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, wherever it is, there's drama. So he'll be fine. He might pick up a host. He might not.
Okay. All right, pushing on. All right, my one topic for this week is Porsha Williams, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, this show is no culture for old men, but this is one of the names I do follow a little bit. And, I saw, of course, it was 2 days ago, I saw the picture of her with the man Simon, and she's like announcing, oh, okay, we're a couple. And then like the next day, I probably heard it late, but whatever. The next day I heard, oh, we're engaged now, because she had this big old rock on her hand in a sundress, standing next to her ex, talking about co-parenting. And so now she engaged. And this cat, maybe it's been divorced a month. And then I think the wife came out today and said, no, the divorce is not final.
not final.
So number one, truth and timeline. Porsha, when did you really start dating this man?
4 months ago.
That's what I'm saying. Because when did they file for divorce? Like what? 3 months ago?
Right.
At the most. So you've been in the pocket for at least 2 months for you to come out here publicly to say, hey, we're a couple. And not only that, but we're engaged. And my other question is, why are you engaged so quickly?
Hold on. He's engaged and not even divorced?
Right.
That's what the existing wife is saying. What's her name? Fallon, I think.
Fallon, yeah.
Yeah. I think she came out today and said it's not officially done yet.
Correct.
Well, he's not married, so he can still be engaged.
I'm embarrassed to say how much I passively have learned about this topic over the last few days.
It's been through osmosis you've learned about this topic.
Because there's a whole industry of YouTube people that just talk about the Real Housewives show.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's all they make a living on this.
Apparently,
who's on this show?
You never watched it?
I've never watched it in my life.
Real Housewives, of course, is a whole family of business. You got Atlanta, you got Real Housewives of Potomac, you got Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, yada yada yada. All right, Real Housewives of Atlanta is one of the most popular in the family. Of course, you got Porsha Williams, you got Candy, you got Cynthia Bailey, who used to be a model.
Yeah.
He used to be married to the cool actor movie dude back in the day. Nene Leakes used to be on there. She's out on there this year.
Kenya.
You got Kenya Moore. Okay, so you got some
former Miss America.
Yeah, former Miss America. So and the funny thing to me, it's only like one or two of them on there now that's really a housewife. It's always.
Yeah, that's the thing about the show. Even when it started, there was only
when the
like
show started,
3
literally one of them was married.
Was actually married, right?
This might be interesting to you, Tyrone. Eric Snow used to be on there.
What? For what?
Eric Snow and his wife, they were on the original. They were on the first season.
Wow, that's what it's come down to.
Once he quit playing ball, they moved to Atlanta, and they ended up on the show.
That's what it's come down to.
So they made it, but believe me though, they weren't about the foolishness. So they only made it one season. They weren't entertaining enough. And Eric Snow was like, I ain't trying to be on here. And then also Cordell Stewart was on there because he was married to Porsha at one point.
Right. And he divorced her, I guess.
And they got divorced after like a year or something like that.
Smart man.
Yeah, so she's now I don't know if she was married to the second cat or was she just engaged to him.
They didn't get married.
Okay. So she's only working on her second marriage then. But this is a big story, man. People are just like all up on it.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. So when they get back to taping the real show, it's gonna be interesting how they handle that on the
show. So first of all, my only thoughts on this are, if you're single, I guess you can get it in however you want to get it in. My only other thing was the way it's set up for the storyline is Porsha seemed to know this young lady.
They were acquaintances.
They seem to be
on the show.
Well, she visited her house.
Yeah, I did see an episode. It was like she invited Porsha and a couple of the other ladies over for a pool party.
Yeah, they seem to be friendly at least, and they're sitting there smoking the hookahs and
they're friendly
and chatting it up.
Friendly for a check or friendly?
Check. I think they were check friendly.
Probably check friendly.
No, you check friendly.
Because Porsha even said in a quote that we're not friends.
Yeah, but that statement, that statement was all bull. That statement was all BS.
She said we're not friends. So
you're probably not friends anymore.
Nah, she's saying we were never friends.
That statement was all BS, bro.
Yeah, it was. Because like you covering something up there.
And then you have the allegations of her possibly being with child. And
yeah, I've heard that.
This whole scenario of her timeline of falling in love within a month, none of that jives.
Nah, I don't jive at all, man. So I'm curious to see what's going to come out of this. It's going to be interesting when they start taping the new season. I mean, I'll watch it sporadically, and I'll catch an episode here or there. But you're going to catch it on IG or whatever you want all the time. People make a business out of talking about Real Housewives.
Yeah,
especially of Atlanta because it's the black flagship show for that reality station. So
I don't even know what channel it comes on.
I think it's Bravo.
Yeah, Bravo.
Yeah, I think it's Bravo. Oh, and Chris Samuels' wife used to be on there. Chris Samuels is on there. So it always has an athlete or two here or there.
Oh, she was on the Housewives of Potomac.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Real Housewives of Potomac. There you go.
Yeah.
So, whatever. It's all the same.
Housewives of Potomac. People
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
show
bro.
out of anything, man.
What's that?
People make a show out of anything.
Well, like on the Real Housewives of Potomac, Juan Dixon's on there.
His broke ass. I never
Yeah,
been.
him and his wife. Him and his wife are on there. You got Chris Samuels on there. They had the old Wizards coach, Eddie Jordan, was on there for a little while with his wife.
Eddie was on there.
He was on maybe one or two
Oh,
episodes.
I don't watch.
But his wife was on there for a couple seasons.
Oh, that.
Because they got divorced too. It
That's
seems like
terrible.
as soon as you hit this show, you get divorced. So I don't really.
Wow.
This show will get you divorced, man. If I was the dudes, I would stay away from it. But actually, like on Real Housewives of Atlanta, one of the big ESPN guys, he's on there. He's marrying Cynthia Bailey. I can't think of his name right now, but he does Sports Center LA, I think. He's one of the guys who does Sports Center in LA.
Brother out in LA?
It's two brothers out there. It's one. It's not the one you're thinking about.
The old cat that's been there forever?
Not him.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Not Stan Verrett. Not Stan.
What are you doing?
It's another guy. And he's marrying Cynthia, so he's on there now. All right, y'all. Moving on, man. Let's get to it, man. NBA. What are y'all thinking, man? What's the feel right now? Lakers. I'll go off real quick. The Lakers, they won a game without LeBron, without AD the other night. They trying to keep out of this play-in game. What are you guys seeing around the league?
I don't think they want out of the play-in game.
Why would you say that?
Because I don't think they want to play the Clippers first round.
Oh, because they'll get the Suns, right?
They'll get the Suns.
If they do the play-in.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's a shrewd move. But who are they gonna play in the play-in? They gotta play Golden State.
Yeah, Golden State for one game.
Well, they gotta play two games, don't you, in the play-in?
If you're the 7 and 8, you got to play one game if you win.
Yep.
Okay, and then the 9 and 10 play a second game.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see them wanting to do that. I'd rather play the Suns. Than what's the other choice you said?
Clippers.
Oh yeah, I'd rather play the Suns than the Clippers. Definitely.
Because, I mean, LeBron, if he's still in pain now, what's going to change in 2 or 3 days?
Not much. And Anthony Davis has a groin injury now.
Yeah, he's just soft. What's going on with that dude?
I don't know, man.
You
Well, that's why he
touch him.
signed that 5-year deal. He knows health.
You touch him, he gets hurt.
been soft.
But I don't think, me personally, I think LeBron's fine. I think LeBron could play right now. I think they're just like, dude, don't risk it. We've had bad luck with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Wait to the playoffs. We get in, we're good.
You don't think LeBron, he's 36 and he's just tender?
No.
I don't think he's 100%, but I think he could play at 90%.
A 90% LeBron is better than anybody in the league still.
I agree. I'm saying 90%, he's still better than most. So,
Yeah.
So maybe they're being cautious with him.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Now, I do worry about the chemistry because of Andre Drummond. I mean, Andre Drummond sucks.
You know what? The sad story about Andre Drummond is you can tell he's never been coached, man. And not at the NBA level.
No, you could tell.
You could just tell the way he plays. It's like, dude, no one took you aside. No one took you to big man camp. No one helped you get in the post and work on your moves. It's crazy.
Like, he's the definition of a good player on a bad team.
Yeah.
You're good on a bad team. Once you got to really compete, you're not really that good.
Well, it brings that up to me. Like when I'm thinking of him, I'm thinking of like in the future, like Cat that plays for the Timberwolves. What is he really like on another team?
Karl Anthony Towns, yeah.
Yeah. What will Karl Anthony Towns look like on another team? What you see like from the Orlando moves, like, okay, Gordon, he's doing pretty good out in Denver. He's fitting his role in. But the other guy who went to Boston, he's been a no-show. Now he has had COVID. He's had some COVID issues, but I haven't really seen him show up that much.
You comparing Drummond to Karl Anthony Towns?
I'm comparing the two, yeah. Just good centers on bad teams. Hey, Drummond was averaging what, like 20 and 15?
Yeah.
Before they shut him down?
Easy.
Yeah, but he wasn't good. His usage rate was high, and his shooting percentage was bad.
That's what I'm saying. His usage rate was, but on a bad team, your usage rate is gonna be high.
Right.
Like, look, in Detroit, he looked like a beast in Detroit.
And you can get a bunch of rebounds when your team is missing every shot.
When you shooting 38%.
Yeah, you doing the old Moses Malone, padding your stat, just throwing it up there, trying to get rebounds.
You shoot 38%. I mean, yeah, you can get 20 rebounds on that. And you know what? He probably gets 2 or 3 of his own shots every game, probably. So I don't know about that, y'all.
I still think LeBron, AD, if they're healthy, they're top 2 players in the West, and they won't come out the West. If they're healthy, if they're playing, Chris Paul, no, sorry. Devin Booker, I love you. It's not going to happen.
No, I got the Suns. I think I said that last time. I got the Suns coming out the West.
Yeah, you said that last time. You gonna stick with that?
Yep.
Over Denver?
Yep.
I don't see
over
it.
Denver. Okay.
I don't see it.
Because Tyrone, who do you got coming out the West?
I still got the Lakers.
Okay.
I'm still riding
with
fine.
The Lakers too for now.
I think they're fine. They get in. LeBron's good. Now LeBron's not playing. Okay, that changes things.
Exactly.
But
I think I said
playing.
it last time. If LeBron and AD are playing, I'm riding them out. They're coming out of the West.
Wait. What happened to that whole thing about continuity and having everybody playing, and if they don't, that's an issue. That's an issue for new teammates. They won a championship last year. They basically have the same team.
Yeah.
Because the 2 best players are still there.
They don't have the same team.
LeBron and AD. Who else you need?
Yeah. I say worst comes to worst. You can always sit Andre Drummond and just play Harold, and they'll be just fine. If you're worried about continuity and team working together. Because you got to think, you really don't need Drummond until you play the Joker. You know, you don't need him until you play Denver.
The Joker is going to use and abuse Drummond.
Oh, I agree, but you need to foul.
Put Marcus All on him. Put Marcus All on him.
I'm just saying, you're going to need both of them for that series because he's going to abuse both of them. Don't matter which one on the
Don't
court.
you think they'll put Davis on him eventually like they did last year?
They will at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like last 5 minutes. They're not going to play him the whole game because 1, they don't want him to get tired. 2, they don't want him to get hurt. 3, they don't want to get into foul trouble. So they'll put him on the last 5 minutes of the game. Hey, let's do a Wizard shout out, Ben. What you got on the Wizards, man? I saw Westbrook. He broke the triple-double record.
They choked last night.
I know they did. They
did choke last night
for a second night.
I got that on the Wizards, man. I don't watch the Wizards.
I thought you were the Wizards fan.
I'm not.
You just said watch more Wizards games.
I got Portland hats. Jerseys.
One of our episodes, you said you were the only Wizards fan on the podcast.
Exactly.
I lied. I'm probably I lied.
Bruh. All right, so I'm gonna have to rep the Wizards now. I literally watch pretty much every Wizards game just because it's on. You gotta watch it. It's local.
No, you don't.
Because it's bad. It's bad basketball.
I don't pay for the NBA package, so I end up watching it. There you go. So Westbrook, he broke the triple-double record. He beat Oscar Robertson, 180. Oscar Robertson had 182 triple-doubles. He had to hit 183. But at the same token, the Wizards as a team choked Atlanta 2 games in a row. So Atlanta clinched the playoff spot.
Bradley wasn't playing, right?
Nah, Bradley wasn't playing. But they had both games won.
Bradley's not coming back to the playoffs.
Yeah, he ain't come back to playoffs. I mean, they literally had like 5-6 point leads with like 2 minutes to go in both games. They could have won both games. Mm-hmm.
They choked. They
choked it out.
I'm trying to figure out how Scott Brooks still has a job.
Because what's going to change by firing him? Nothing.
But he's a coach to let stars do what the hell they want. and it's been like that since OKC. They have to be coached in some type of way.
Agree. He's a player's coach.
Players coaches,
What the hell does that mean?
that means you let them
do what you want to do.
Yeah, do what the hell you want to do.
That's what it means nowadays. It didn't used to mean that, but that's what it means now.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
George Karl was a player's coach.
So you don't think a better coach would help the Wizards?
Oh, agree. But who's out there that you can get?
I'm tired of saying Mark Jackson because he's not going to get a job. So
No, he's not.
Mark
Agree.
Jackson could
He'd
help
be a
them.
better coach.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Scott Brooks.
There's plenty of guys out there who can coach. Just a question of finding them and putting them out there. I'm sure there's plenty of good assistants around.
Like, I understand this NBA, they don't run sets like the old NBA. I get it. But in your last 2 minutes, your coach has to stand up and say, hey, dummies, let's get a good shot. And he doesn't. Right, he just sits there.
What do you mean they run sets?
They run sets. It just happens to go through Russell right now.
But the sets are for freaking jump shots. Like, how about getting to the basket, getting to the foul line? Put the pressure on the defense. Like, be a coach. Don't just say you get open jumper, take it. That ain't coaching.
They're running the same sets he ran when he was in OKC with Durant and Westbrook, where at the end of a game you would end up with Durant with a top of the key three-pointer. They're running the same set.
And that's a bad shot.
Yeah, for everyone but Kevin Durant. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that. Hey, speaking of Durant, man, did y'all see James Harden last night?
Dude, the Nets are going to win.
So you got a Suns Nets finals?
Hold on. The Nets are going to win because they beat. Who did they beat?
James Harden.
Who did they beat?
Anybody last night.
Exactly. Cut it out.
Three of them were playing, and
no, Kyrie did not play.
Harden looked like he ain't missed a game.
James Harden is the reason why they're going to win.
Ooh, you're trying to piss me off today.
You're going to win, bro. If James, look.
Did you, hold on, did you
James
just really, hold on, did you really just say out your light-skinned bald head?
Let Ben finish, man. Let him finish.
If James Harden is healthy, the Nets, I don't care if what's that dude's name? Kyrie. I give Kyrie 4 mental health days, and I'll give Knucklehead 2 days to rest his leg between the whole playoffs, and they will still win the East.
One question. Since it's going to be up to James Harden, who never got to the finals day in his life. But if Kevin Durant's not healthy, you're still taking James Harden and Kyrie?
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about it though. This is the setup. Milwaukee, the Sixers. Boston's a no-show now. They lost Jaylen Brown. He's done for the year.
It's a three-team race.
It's a three-team race. So Ben is thinking the Nets can beat those other two teams with just two players. And if they have all three, you're saying it's a slam dunk then.
But if they have all three, it's definitely a slam dunk. But if they have two of them with that Green dude and
Jeff Green's balling.
Jeff Green is balling. And
Griffin's playing pretty good too, actually.
And the Joe guy.
Joe Harris.
This
is what I don't understand. We all accept that the game changes in the playoffs, right?
Agreed.
This is not a made up thing. It changes. We've all seen James Harden's game change in the playoffs. What gives you the confidence that he is going to do it in the freaking playoffs this year?
I'm hoping
he's hoping
that he will. And if he does, if he plays, if he pushes the pace, like you said, I know the game slows down, right? But he's a great player. He's an elite player in this league. And if he wants to, he can play at the pace he wants. He can move that team at his pace.
I agree.
If he does that, they will win.
Now, I agree with both of you on both sides. I agree with Ben. Now, if you watch Harden play, He's one of the better playmakers this year. But he hasn't proved it yet in the playoff situation.
He has.
No, he ain't proved it yet in the playoff situation.
No,
so, I got to see him do it. Now, if he can keep his playmaking up, to me, he is the key to that team because he does make them go. We know Kyrie doesn't get everybody involved. We know Durant, that's not his job. It is Harden's job to get the role players involved, plus keep Kyrie and Durant moving as well. So he is the key to that team.
And to me, that is why you're right. And he is the linchpin for that team because the ball has energy, right? And if other players are getting involved, getting shots, getting touches, it lifts up their defensive play. Kyrie and Durant are individual, awesome players, but they don't make anybody better when they're on the floor.
Tyrone, say something before you lose your mind, man.
James Harden, this is the same guy who led an OKC team with Chris Paul as their only player go 7 games. This is the same player. This is it. Like
you don't think the supporting cast is better on the Nets?
It doesn't matter if one person is pounding the ball and not getting everybody else involved because he's irritated and he's frustrated. We act like this guy plays hard in the playoffs. We have witnessed this guy get mad because Chris Paul is having a good game and stand at the damn half-court line. We've witnessed this. This are facts. You can Google it.
What if he does it this year? What if this is the year he breaks out?
And my question is, what gives you the confidence that he doesn't do it? When times get hard, he folds. What is his record in elimination games and game 7s?
Over.
He folds.
He has won one. I'll give you that.
So those Houston teams were.
I'm sorry. Those Houston teams, he got everything he asked for before whatever you say what you're going to say. He wanted Dwight Howard. He got him. He got his best friend, Russ. He got him. He recruited Chris Paul. He said Chris Paul was the guy that was going to get him over the hump. He got him. He got everything that he wanted in Houston and took L's.
He did.
Now we're saying that he is the key to them winning over Kevin Durant.
Yep. I think he's the key. I'm not saying he's better than Durant. I'm not even saying he's a better scorer than Kyrie. But for that team and the dynamic they have set up, he is the key to their success. So I'm not necessarily agreeing that they're going to blow everybody out. But he is the linchpin to that team right now. You can tell the difference when he plays.
Yeah, when he plays, it's a different spot.
They play different.
In the regular season.
And look, and also, of the big three, with him just playing versus Durant just playing versus Kyrie just playing, they have a better record with Harden.
Yeah, it's like
That's
26.
Him playing by himself.
It's like 26-5 or something.
Yeah. When he was balling and Durant was sitting down and Kyrie was on sabbatical, they were still winning games. Just with him. Because he moves the ball. For whatever reason, he changed his game when he got here.
He had the best record in Houston a couple of times.
No, I agree. He's wonderful regular season. I want to see him do it in the playoffs. I'm waiting to.
What is he going to do when Drew Holiday gets in his chest talking, just talking mess?
You got to see, man.
What is he going to do?
It's why they play the game.
And people, and I keep telling people this. It's not. I know this was the 80s thing where they say East and West basketball is different. No, that's still a thing. East basketball plays defense.
Yeah.
That's a fact. What if
he's going to ball you?
He's
going to play you?
What is he going to do when he drives the lane and Giannis takes a hard foul? Like, the key is Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant does not average 28 to 30, they're going home early. And it's not a question in my mind. Kevin Durant's the key. He has to set the tone, and he has to tell everybody, hey, stupid, stop dribbling the damn ball so much.
Yeah. Well, I think the East, man, is going to be real competitive this year for once. It's going to be a good all-around playoff. I look forward to it. As we said, Jaylen Brown got hurt from Celtics. He's down. Atlanta, they ensured their spot yesterday against the Wizards. We talked about that. So we still got, Philly's still looking strong, man. So, my out of the East is Philly, and I hope they pull through.
Yeah, they got some work to do.
They do got some work to do.
Because that
but
bench,
I
that
think
bench
it's
is
there
terrible.
for them to win. I think it's there for Philly to win.
I thought that too until I seen the standings today. Do you know they have a potential second round matchup with Miami?
No.
That's not a good matchup for them.
Yeah, but Miami's not the same
even this
team.
year.
That's not a good matchup for them. When Ben Simmons plays against guys like Kawhi Leonard and Kawhi Leonard and Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons acts like he don't want to dribble the ball. Like, I don't want that matchup.
Step back against those guys.
Somebody's playing defense. Somebody's playing defense against him.
Well, someone who's as athletic as he is that what it is?
And plays D and gets up in his chest. He just turns his back like that old Magic Johnson and act like he doesn't want to even be bothered.
He don't trust his handles.
You don't trust his handle against him.
Pay attention to him. It's just funny. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Well, he did that in the playoffs the year before. I remember that. He did do that.
Yeah, I want the Sixers to win, but I don't trust it.
So who do you think is going to win then if the Sixers ain't going to win?
Either Milwaukee or Miami. They coming out the East.
You're going to take Milwaukee or Miami over the Nets?
Because I don't think all three of the Nets are going to play.
We betting that and play.
All three of them.
We're going to put a bet on that.
All three of those guys are not going to play. I don't have any faith, and I just don't have any faith in James Harden. And don't get it twisted. Do I think James Harden can play? Yes. I'm not an idiot. I know how to judge basketball talent, but your heart matters. If you had a little bit of Mamba in you, you'd have a championship already. You get some Kobe in you, you'd be all right, but you ain't got it, and you got to show me you got it first.
I agree. You got to show what you got, and I'm hoping for his sake he can show it this year and quiet some people down. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see a Nets Suns final, a Nets Lakers final. That would be kind of hot.
Let me ask you this:
what are the ratings going to be on a Nets Suns final? Like
very
if the
low,
Suns are in the championship,
very low.
That's
very low.
That's gonna not be that good.
Let me ask you this: y'all remember when LeBron was getting hammered for his troubles in the playoffs?
Yeah.
What if LeBron had those same troubles as James Harden? That would be national.
He wouldn't be King James then.
Yeah,
but that would be national media every day. Like
he wouldn't have lived up to what he's supposed to. He wouldn't be King James if that was the case. And we've talked about this before. LeBron's lost 3-4 finals, but we know why he lost them. And some of them he got to take the blame for. Some of them he can't. I can see it on both sides.
Man, he's gotten. I'm sorry.
What?
But he's gotten until he. Well, I don't even know if until he got to Cleveland and won that championship there. He still caught ish. Being to the finals so many times and losing. What do they call it? Try to compare him to the Buffalo Bills or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like
Jim Kelly.
It's a team. It's a team sport.
It's a team sport.
And I understand you can be great. And sometimes greatness can lift your team above. But the style of play that he has, it leads to mixed results. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when he has the better team,
he's gonna win.
He's gonna win.
Lately, you can say that lately.
But I mean, in Miami, he had the better team. He was gonna win.
They shouldn't have lost to Dallas.
But they shouldn't have lost to Dallas.
They shouldn't have lost to Dallas.
So I blame him for that one. He takes an L on that one. That's a true L.
But that's his style of play. His style of play.
Yeah.
I
agree. And then, and that one against San Antonio when he was in Cleveland the first time around, he didn't have a chance now. That wasn't his fault. That was a team game. They lost the team game.
Was Ginobili in them?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have a chance. I don't even count that one against them. I'm like, you just lost to a better team. It is what it is. So, but to me, they're not comparable. I get what you're trying to say, Tyrone. But Harden, man, he do got to step up. I admit it. He got to step up. He needs to prove it that he can do it. I still think it's whack that they all had the three get together to try to do it. I'm like, y'all couldn't have did this on your own somewhere. I mean, but whatever. It's the new basketball. But before we wrap up the NBA, let's do this. three questions. Who you got for MVP? Who you got for most improved? And who you got for sixth man of the year? Oh, and let's add rookie of the year too.
You want to go first, Ben?
No.
Or you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
MVP?
MVP.
Joker.
Okay.
He's averaging. I don't know most improved. I would say Brandon Ingram, but I would have to look at his stats.
Okay.
What was the next one you said? Rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year.
Oh, LaMelo Ball. That's easy.
And sixth man of the year, if you got one.
I don't have one for that.
Okay.
I don't have a six man of the year.
All right, what you got, Ben? MVP, at least.
Who's the dude for Denver?
Joker.
Yeah. Joker or Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's the trendy pick. Get it? What you got on rookie of the year?
Yeah, it's got to be LaMelo.
Okay.
Most improved?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't. Knicks guy.
Oh, Randall.
Randall, I forgot.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
See?
I forgot about Randall.
That's a good one. And last one was six man of the year. You got one for that?
Dang, the other guy.
D Rose?
Nah, is it Denver or is it Utah?
You talking about Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah, Clarkson.
Yeah. That's my pick for six man of the year.
Yeah, he's a bucket right
He getting buckets, man.
I got a six man a year. Derrick Rose. I forgot about Rose. He's balling.
Derrick Rose is balling. Yeah, he's balling.
Oh, that's nice. Now, if they
Derrick
still
Rose.
did, I don't know if they still do. If they did comeback player, Derrick Rose would be kind of cool for that.
Yeah,
he had a good season last year though. He had his comeback like 2 years ago when he was
playing. But it's nice to see him balling.
It is good to see him playing. I mean, you talk about you ever watch this? Oh, go ahead with your things. I'll talk.
Go ahead. Watch what?
There's this guy. It's the NBA storyteller.
Yeah.
You ever see him?
Scoop.
Huh?
Scoop Jackson.
Nah. I don't know what his name is.
Tom Rinaldi, the guy with the voice.
I don't know if that's his name. It's just called the NBA storyteller. It's like a YouTube thing.
Oh,
he does these whole long diatribe stories on basketball players and certain plays, and he breaks down everything. It's to me, it's so entertaining. I watched all of these videos. He did this whole oh damn, what was we talking about a second ago?
Derrick Rose.
Yeah, he did this whole video, this whole arc on Derrick Rose and his recovery, and him coming back, and it's worth a watch.
Oh, okay, I have to look that up. I'll do mine real quick. MVP, Joker, we all agree on that. Most improved, I got a 2A, 2B on that. Julius Randle, but I would even throw Jaylen Brown in the mix for that. Just the way his scoring average increased. So I could see him winning the most improved player award. Six man, looks like Jordan Clarkson. I don't think anyone's really close to that. And what was the other one? Rookie of the year. I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves, man.
That man has been balling.
Just on highlight reel. His shot's getting better.
That's interesting.
Huh?
So that's interesting.
Yeah. I want to see what he's like, year two, how big a jump he make. I mean, he playing on a bad team, so we'll see what he look like year three.
What's their record?
Timberwolves?
Yeah.
Not good enough for playoff.
It's bad.
Why are they so bad? Who's their coach?
The Timberwolves, man, do this every year. They're horrible all season. And then at the end of the year, they try to make a push for the playoffs. and try to get in. They had won like 4 or 5 in a row. Now they've lost 3 in a row. You know, they do it every year, man. Timberwolves. You know, well, remember they fired their coach. Flip Saunders' kid used to coach the team, and then they fired him like midway.
Oh, that's right. His son. They're 22 and 47.
Horrible.
Jesus.
They're the worst. They'll have the number 1 pick again, probably. They'll probably have a shot at it. Well, when they had probably going to get it this year.
When they had Jimmy Butler, Wiggins, and Towns, and Thibodeau was the coach, and they still didn't win, I was like, they have no chance.
I don't get it, man. I don't know if it's the organization or what it is, but they're just not a winning franchise right now. Ever since Garnett's been gone, they ain't had a shot.
Until you do right by Garnett, you ain't gonna win nothing.
They should have gave him a chance for ownership, and they didn't.
Until you do right.
Instead, you got Alex Rodriguez, who's going to own the team. They did a verbal agreement today, finally, buy the team in the Lynx.
Is he going to be a majority owner, or is that a minority?
Him and a guy named Lori, who's an E mogul. So they're going to own the team majority.
They're going to be the majority owner. Wow.
$1.6 billion.
Wow.
So they'll own the Timberwolves and the Lynx.
That's crazy.
Alex Rodriguez ain't playing, man.
Hey Jim, before we go on to the NFL, can you and I start to talk about starting a cybersecurity company?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, because I plan on going online and getting my degree like tomorrow.
Because dude, I am lining up class because if Columbia Gas
goes down again,
can't control their network better than this. They're gonna need a brother like me to come in there.
They are
secure some things.
They are, man. They are, man. Cybersecurity, man.
Tyrone called me today talking about there was lines for gas.
There's zero gas in Culpeper County.
Ben, were you able to get gas?
Dude, not yesterday. There was no gas. Like when I left for work at 5:30 in the morning, I went to 4 gas stations in Culpeper.
Yeah.
There was no gas. I drove to the next town, no gas. I got to
Opal
3 towns away. There was gas at the Sheets, and I filled up. And
20 minutes away from the house, probably.
Yeah, in North Virginia, it's okay. It was okay, but there were still lines there that afternoon when I got off work. There was crazy lines.
What happened is people started hoarding, man. The pipeline was down a week. I get it. So people got scared, started hoarding. There wasn't a gas shortage, but people made it a shortage by hoarding gas. People were putting gas in plastic bags.
Dude, look, right here, I'm going to insert a video of this lady putting gas in plastic. I saw that. Yeah, I recorded it.
In a plastic bag. People were filling up, you know how landscape guys have those water tankers on the back of their truck?
Yeah, I saw that.
They were filling that up. Water tanks with gas.
They were filling that up all the way.
That's crazy. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. But I agree with you. Cybersecurity, man, is important, man. If you can shut down one pipeline and cause that much drama for a 3-day period, it's ridiculous. I heard the story on Sunday, and I knew it. I was like, this isn't going to be good. East Coast Pipeline, I literally went and got gas that night.
These people lied. This happened before Sunday.
Oh, I'm sure it did, too.
These people are lying. This happened earlier.
They're not legally. They don't have to tell us when it happened. So they told us when they were ready.
And they paid them people.
I know they did. That's what I've heard. They did.
They paid that $5 million or whatever.
Ransom.
They paid that money, and that's BS. I mean,
they paid the ransom.
Yeah,
they didn't have a choice. Allegedly, if they did pay them, because this is what they do with ransomware. Okay, when they attack your system, they not only lock your system up, they encrypt your system. So either you got 2 choices: one, build from scratch, rebuild, or 2, what's the second option? It's build it from scratch, or try to recover data, which will take you forever.
Well, one, if they don't have a disaster recovery site that they can bring up, then
what if they lock that down?
There's no way. If they have a real recovery site, it's down. There's no way they're blocked off. They get into one, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a recovery, they didn't have a recovery site. Because I've been looking this up. I've been like,
they didn't have one, right?
What are you doing? They didn't
Did they
have
a disaster recovery
No,
site?
they did not have a recovery plan
And
at
most
all.
utilities don't.
And I'm like, dude, I'm going to become a security analyst, and we're going to start a company. We're going to make sure everybody gets
every pipeline secure,
gets cyber secure.
This is crazy.
This is the problem, man. For pipelines, a lot of the pipeline sections and the work behind it is made up of mom and pop businesses. Okay, even for the electric grid, it's not the most technologically savvy folks, running those companies.
What do you mean mom and pop business? It's a pipeline that goes all the way up to the United States.
No, I get it though, but parts of that pipeline, there's plenty. When I say mom and pop, I mean like for the connections for that system, it makes a connection in like every state. Though the systems attached to it aren't that technologically savvy. They're just not. It's not technologically advanced. So for every cutoff point, there's a system attached to it, and that system may not have the best security. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
We're the United States of America. What? How does?
But when it comes to pipelines, they're privately owned. The government doesn't
that's
own
the
them.
thing. They're privately owned, and these companies don't want the government in their business.
Nope.
And this company in particular, they aren't even giving the information to CISA, the agency that is supposed to protect them in situations like this. They aren't even giving the information to them on how this thing got hacked.
That's great. Do they know how they got hacked?
No, I don't know. I'm sure they do, but
that has to be.
They aren't telling anybody. And there's no law that says they can just come in and take that information. It has to be provided.
Private information. It's private.
That has to be an inside job.
I don't know, but this is the problem with it, though. These pipelines, those things are really public utilities, and really the federal government has to step in more and regulate these guys more, because when a private pipeline goes down, that affects us citizens of the United States.
Yeah,
we got to improve the security on this stuff, and that goes for power grids, that goes for pipelines. Right. I mean, that goes for water treatment. I mean, it goes for everything, man. I mean, they got to step this game up. So I concur.
Yeah, I mean, it's a utility. I mean, I don't care if privately owned or not. You're providing a service to the public, and that service has to be available.
Exactly.
I mean, you can talk about regulating Facebook all you want. Nobody cares about. I don't care about Facebook.
Exactly.
I care about water.
My thing is get off Facebook. You don't like it.
I'm like, if you don't walk yourself down there and pull that lever and let this gas go, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. Hey, real quick, let's talk about the NFL. NFL schedule came out, man. Some interesting matchups. Of course, I saw they pitted the Cowboys against the Tampa Bay Bucks on the Thursday night game.
Opening week. Opening week. Yep. So that game's going to be kind of hot. Is that in Dallas or in Tampa? Tampa.
Okay, so they get the home game. Okay.
Y'all told me the Cowboys were going to be good this year.
Oh, I don't know.
They're supposed to be good every year, but that don't mean they're good.
Exactly.
I want to start that. If we continue this for, I don't know, if we get to 20, it'll be good. But if we keep doing this and we get into the football season, I'm not putting up with any Cowboy foolishness. I'm tired of people talking about this team. I get annoyed. It's part of the reason why I stopped watching football. They talk about them like they're going to win the championship every year, and they suck. They're terrible. The owners are racist. I don't care. I don't like them. I'm going to slander them.
You should have saw the video that he just did with Post Malone.
Y'all
see that?
No, I didn't. What the hell? No.
Him and Jara did a video with Post Malone.
I'm going to add that into this.
It's like a welcome to the season video. They got Dak in it. They got Ezekiel in it. Google that joint.
Post Malone
today. It was kind of
Jerry
funny.
Jones. That shit came right up.
That joint kind of funny.
I'm not giving that any energy.
I know. Let's not get the Cowboys any energy. As y'all can tell, we not Cowboys fans. Right?
But week one, I'm supposed to be in
Dave.
Atlanta. I'm supposed to be in Atlanta for the Eagle game week 1. So
that's gonna be a nice game. Eagles. It's a nice stadium to go and watch a game at. It's a good environment down there to watch a football game.
better go see week 1 because after that they could probably go suck.
Hey, you give them a shot. One interesting thing: Green Bay, they have 5 night games scheduled this year, and if you don't have Aaron Rodgers, they're gonna have to move that schedule around. 5 night games is scheduled for Green Bay Packers.
Oh yeah,
Aaron Rodgers will be in Green Bay. He's not getting traded.
You know what? Now I'm starting to think it's just about money.
No, it's not about money.
They can't trade him now. Like, if they're going to get rid of him, it has to be after June 1st because it's going to cost them more money. So they're quiet. They can't do anything right now. If they want to, they have to wait till after June 1st.
Dude, they're not going to trade him.
I think at this point, it's about guaranteed money. He has no more guaranteed money left on his deal. So I'm starting to think it's about money. Because if he really wanted to go somewhere, wouldn't he just come out and say, I want to go somewhere?
But that's what he did.
No, you can't. But you can't.
He didn't say it publicly. He didn't come on ESPN or Fox Sports and say, I want to be traded. He didn't say that.
He will be going against the collective bargaining agreement. It's tampering. You cannot do that.
You can't say that?
No.
Oh, for real?
You can leak it. Sure. Your agent can leak it.
Okay, so you can leak it. Well, it seemed like he would have leaked something new.
No. Because this is the thing with trades. If I'm a GM, I can see wherever I damn well please. And he knows that. And he knows that. Because if I'm a GM and my star player is talking crap and saying I suck and I should get fired, I'm going to send you to the worst possible environment with the worst offensive line I could send you to.
They should send him to the Redskins. That would be awesome.
That offensive line is too good.
Hey, they just signed another offensive lineman. Their lines are going to be pretty good this year.
That's too good. That's too good. Now, Miami, the Jets, that offensive line, go ahead, play.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to the Jets.
I would send them there because, like, okay, you don't want to play here. You're not going to go play somewhere else and win.
They're not going to send them within the division if they did send them somewhere. They send them out west or they would send them down south. They wouldn't send them somewhere they play them.
So what's up with Washington football team? Their last 5 games are in the division.
So are the Eagles. Last 4 games in the division, yep.
That seems unfair.
Nah, they do that every year, don't they?
Yeah.
That's how the Redskins limp into the playoffs.
That's how the NFC works.
Yeah, that's how you limp into the playoffs if you're in the NFC. So even if you 9-7 or this year 9-8, you'll still make the playoffs.
Yeah, that seems unfair.
I guess you'll have to go 10-7.
Well, it's 17 games this year.
Yeah, 17-game season this year. So that's why they always do the NFC East like that, man. They make them slug it out last 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
Why do they do that? Why can't they just say, look, I don't care if you won 4th place in the NFC East. Your record was 8-8. You don't get in the playoffs. We're going to take one of these other teams from the West Coast, 10-6. And we're going to put them in your slot.
I agree. I think the best record should make the playoffs.
The best record should play. Doesn't this make
but that's why they have conferences, man. It's just about winning your division.
That means you have to change the whole format of the playoffs.
You'd have to change the whole format.
Why?
Because you do. You have to change it.
You don't. No, it guarantees 2 teams, right, out of each division, right?
No.
And a wild card. That's why they added the wild card.
It's just time zones, man. It doesn't matter. What are you doing?
It does matter.
So what are you going to have, like 8 teams out of the NFC West?
That's what I'm saying.
They got better records?
What if like the NFC South, like the NFC South or NFC North, if they got 4 teams with winning records, you going to put all 4 teams in the playoffs?
Out of one division?
Yeah. What are you going? You can't do that.
So you take the best teams. Yes, you take the best records.
The best thing about
take the best. I don't care. I don't care what division they're in. You take the best records.
The most exciting thing about the NFL is the parity. You give everybody a chance. If you're taking that away, You know how much money they would use? Are you crazy?
And this is the thing about NFL. NFL the last 15 years has been the most parity, has the most parity of any league there is because they're so close. I mean, within, games. I mean, no team is no more than 2 games apart except for a team that's running away with it, like Kansas City, who goes 15-2 or something like that. But most teams are going to be within 2 games of each other.
Right.
And that's why it kind of works parity wise. So you can be 9-8 in the previous years or 9-7 and get in. It's something to think about. Maybe you should add a wild card team.
Now, that concept that you just said about taking the best teams with the best record, I believe in that concept for the NBA. Just do a 16-team tournament, whatever.
I'd be all West Coast teams then.
No, it wouldn't, because Lakers got the same record as the Knicks right now.
Yeah.
So no, it wouldn't.
Well, this year they do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But why
the
is
East
that
is
different?
better than what people. The East is better than.
I agree. The East stepped up their records this year. The records are better than they have been in the past.
But why is that different for the NFL?
Huh?
Why is that different for the NFL? I mean, I don't.
You gotta explain it better to me. I'm not getting it.
I don't want to watch an 8-8 team play. To me, that's just I don't care. You're not good.
You do realize in the playoffs last year, a 9-7 team was the only team close to beating the Super Bowl champs, right?
Who was that team?
That was the Washington football team. They were the closest team to beating Tampa Bay.
They played them the toughest.
What's that mean?
They were an 8-8 team. These teams that you claim to have great records, they don't always perform in the playoffs. Some of them suck. So what are you talking about right now?
I'm talking about the percentage.
Or like New England, when they played in the AFC East for 30 years with Tom Brady as their quarterback, playing against quarterbacks like Ryan Leaf or the rest of these scrubs. Of course you're going to win. You're playing Buffalo 2 times a year in Miami and whatever bums is in that division.
That's what I'm saying. Why do I care about any of these teams?
No, but I think that's the argument against why you don't take the best record. Because when the Patriots dominated their division, they were beating up on Miami. They were beating up on Buffalo.
But the Patriots were going to make it
on the Jets.
The Patriots were going to make it anyway.
So you're saying the Patriots wouldn't have had a worse record playing in the AFC North with Pittsburgh and Baltimore, playing them 2 times a year, other than the Jets in Miami? What are you talking about right now?
I don't.
They would have had a tougher time.
I don't remember the last time New England lost to Pittsburgh, and I'm a Steelers fan. I don't remember the last time.
Well, they always meet in the playoffs, and they beat them every time. So
yeah, I don't remember the last time they lost. I don't think that would be a problem. I don't care about that. All I care about is I don't want your 8-8 ass in the playoffs. I don't think you deserve it.
I get it. Maybe you should propose that to the NFL Players Committee and see what they say.
You win your division, you get in. You win your division, you get in. That's the beauty. If that's the case, you might as well cancel divisions. Why are we playing divisions? If that's the case.
The only thing I see you're going to lose is you got to account for the East versus West or the North versus South Super Bowl. So you might have a West versus West Super Bowl guaranteed, or East versus East.
He just wants the Steelers to make it to the championship.
He wants the Steelers to make it every year.
It's one game, man. It's not like they playing 3 or 4 game tournaments. They're playing one game. Shoot.
I agree. I agree with that. I think they could do some tweaking with it. Maybe you could add another wild card team or something. Add another round in.
They already added an extra round.
Yeah,
for extra team.
Round.
Yeah. Let's see, man. It's early. To me, I'm like, man, football ain't football to me till they actually kick off. All this summer talk of football is just ridiculous.
And who are you cheering?
There's nothing to talk about until they actually start playing.
Who are you cheering for this year, Jim?
I mean, I'm always a Washington fan, man. I always root for Washington to start the season. Baltimore. I follow Baltimore. So, I'm looking out for the Ravens, man, as usual. Local teams.
I guess.
So we'll see. When Super Bowl comes around, it's all open season then. If Pittsburgh makes it to it, hey, I'm cool with that. If the Raiders can make it back, I'd be happy with that. I don't want to see Minnesota in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see Green Bay in the Super Bowl.
I'm just ready for fantasy football.
Why not Green Bay?
I don't like Green Bay. What do I care about Green Bay? I'm just not a Green Bay fan. Never have been.
I'm just ready for fantasy football.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Hey,
one topic for today, y'all, is COVID, man. CDC came out with some updated guidelines. President Biden came out with some updated guidelines. Life after COVID. Attempting. What do y'all think?
I'm ready. I need to see what these women really look like.
And the update was this, though. The update was if you're outdoors and you've been vaccinated, take your mask off if you're comfortable. If you're not in a crowd or a lot of people, hey, you should be able to take your mask off now if you've had your second vaccination. What do y'all think?
After 2 weeks.
I'm down. I need to, like I said, I need to find me a woman without a mask.
Hey, you know, they've been getting over with wearing these masks for the past 2 years.
Yeah, and then then they take off the mask and you start running. You're like,
hey, men too though. Men done got away with
dudes,
too though.
Dudes been getting away with it too.
Dudes been getting away with it too, man. I'm sure dudes have had a lot more luck wearing this mask than without it.
And now I got to get off this COVID 31 pounds I gained, so it's gonna be terrible.
Well, I've been talking to Tyrone about that. You know, I'm on my 20th day of keto.
While we talking about life after COVID, if the Wizards do make the playoffs, y'all down to go to a game?
As long as it's not $500.
Scalping some tickets.
Which is probably what it will be. Have you seen the COVID ticket prices? It's like
I've seen it because it's 25%. But if they open it up more, it's still gonna be
much.
They gotta open it up more because
they gotta open it up more.
I checked out the prices for when it was the Laker game. The Lakers were coming to Washington, and it was literally like $450. I checked the Golden State game. Golden State came to Washington. It was like $525 for the section I usually sit in, the 200 section behind the backboard. It was like $550 for one ticket.
I'm still wearing a mask to basketball game.
Oh yeah, indoor. Oh yeah, indoor. Yeah. Wearing a mask. Even if you are vaccinated, I think it's just smart, and I think you're still gonna have to. They're gonna make you probably wear a mask still.
Now, if I go to my Safeway, right, my beautiful Safeway here in the lovely Culpeper, Virginia, which is only, I go in there, there's never more than 30 people in that store, right? Do I got to wear a mask in there now?
You probably should.
I would.
Isn't the store still requiring it?
Yeah, they probably are.
Probably not after the next 2 weeks. They're going to stop that probably.
States are going to start rolling back the mask mandates, and I'm sure I ain't going to say it, but certain states are going to roll back before other states do. So, we'll see how the states decide to do it. But yeah, I think, indoors, man, we're still rocking a mask. I just think, hey, as soon as you walk out that door, man, you can take that mask off. Like, I've already started. So if I'm outside in public, I'm not wearing my mask walking into Home Depot. No. I'm putting it on when I get in.
Yeah.
Somebody looked at me funny last weekend when I did it. I'm like, we're outdoors and hopefully y'all are getting vaccinated.
Right.
And we can walk around again outdoors. It was like 80 degrees. I'm like, I'm not wearing a mask in 80 degrees.
Yeah. So that means
especially after vaccinations.
That means one of y'all fools can throw a cookout.
Yeah, exactly. I think, if people are vaccinated, it's time to start cooking out again. We got to get back to normal at some point.
The problem is you still have people talking about they're not getting a vaccine, which is crazy.
Well, and that's the problem. They're saying what you saying, Ben?
It's like, how are you supposed to know who's vaccinated?
Oh, you gotta bring your card.
You gotta bring your card. You gotta show your card at the door now. You coming to my barbecue, you better show your vaccination card.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm serious.
Right.
But the random people in the street, you don't know. So hence you still put a mask on.
But you don't need a mask. If you're protected, you're good.
Yeah, I get it. Outdoors, yeah.
Yeah.
Even indoors, you are protected. There's some study out now that's saying that if you got the Pfizer vaccine, that it actually is putting antibodies in your nasal and in your throat to help you, to prevent you from even spreading it. And of course, to prevent you from taking it in as well. That study's not final yet, but I'll be curious to see what the results are from it.
So anybody that listens to this podcast, if you have issues or if you have worries about the COVID vaccine, I want you to please Google Kizzmekia Corbett. She is the lady who headed the process to create these mRNA vaccines. A sister from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Beautiful and intelligent. And she explains the stuff better than Fauci, better than any of these dummies they have on TV, because she did it.
Yeah, she did. I saw her story. Yeah, I saw the story on her.
And
repeat her name again, Ben.
Kizzmekia Corbett, Corbett. They had her on CNN. I remember watching the clip like a year ago, like when this was first popping off. And she was like, we're going to have something out in 8 months. We'd be good.
Yeah.
Basically. She was like, yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And she was right. She was like, we're going to have something out. And she was expecting, she said she expected it to be out in November for the first responders and for the general public spring. And she was right the hell on.
Yeah, seeing her story made me more confident in the producing of the vaccines. When I saw that it was a person of color that was in the room helping to develop this, that did make me more comfortable. She works for Pfizer, right?
No. She works for the government.
Oh, she's government. She's CDC.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So she helped develop the mRNA strands that went into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Which of course is what most of the guys ended up using, was the mRNAs, which is why they made it so fast. So yeah, I mean it's time to start getting back to some sort of normalcy in this country. I mean, we've had the mask debate over and over again. I think it's real simple to say the mask worked the way it was supposed to if you wore it.
That and Jack Daniels.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just showing respect for your fellow citizens to wear a mask. I think that was just the dumbest debate ever that we had. But now that time's winding down. You still should wear it when you're in crowded places and indoors. But if you're outside, man, and you're around your people, you should be more comfortable now. We got to start getting back to some normalcy here.
Right.
And help pick up businesses and all that too. So we'll see, y'all. All right, y'all. This has been the No Culture for Old Men podcast. Don't forget to like or follow us on YouTube or Instagram. See you again.
Peace.